Hi guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through slowly of showing you how to bind your bind and fly quad. And in this example, this is the Eachine Flyingfrog Q90, and I bought this, and actually this is also my first time doing a bind and fly for the frog, and I'm not sure what to expect. The instruction manual doesn't really tell you anything more than how to bind the receiver, which is this FreeSky receiver. If you connect the battery, wait for 6 seconds, then you try to bind it. So let me go through this step by step. So whenever you have a bind and fly quad, first thing that I think that you should do is to take out the propellers and then connect this to CleanFlight or Betaflight and see which version the CleanFlight and Betaflight it comes with. I usually don't flash it with a new Betaflight software. I just keep it as how it comes, and I just adjust the rates. So it's also very important for you to connect this to your computer so that you can see how they set up the modes and how they set up the arming switch. If you don't do that, you don't really know what to expect when you bind it, and you may not be able to arm this, and you have to connect it back to the computer anyway to find out. So the first thing to do is take out the props and connect to the computer. With this flying frog, it doesn't come with a micro USB cable, so hopefully you have one that is lying around at home. So I'm just taking the prop off with the prop remover. This is always a precaution because when you connect, when you press some buttons, you don't want this to spin up and then hurt yourself or fly away. So make sure that you know where the props are to be put back later. So I'm going to put this like this. So the next thing that you need to do is find the USB port. It's on the side here. Connect the micro USB connector. And now you connect it to your computer. If you look at the lights, so it's now trying to connect to the computer, hopefully. Right, so after you connect it to your computer, you can open up Betaflight and see whether it connects or not. So let me try. Yep, it's connected to Betaflight, so I think it comes with Betaflight installed. So I just go to the CLE and type in version and see which version this comes with. So according to Betaflight, this comes with Betaflight SP Racing F3 3.0.1 October 18, 2016. So I'm going to keep this as stock. So I'm not going to flash it with a new Betaflight. So I'm going to turn this around. So what I'm going to do is, if I turn this around, the props will go this way, this way, this way, and this way. Okay. So let me go to setup. and just recalibrate the accelerometer, so make sure that it moves correctly to the orientation. I think it does. So what I always do is I go to configuration, just save and reboot, go back to setup, and you can see now that it moves freely. So the next thing that I want to check is the ports. This one comes with FrSky receiver, so it has already set up serial RX, MSP, that's fine, configuration. Because this is a brush quadcopter, the other thing that you must always check is the ESC motor, and you must make sure that it's selected as brushed. If not, if you select as the other option, one shot or whatever, it's going to spin when you connect the battery. So this one is fine. So it's set up as motor stop. Disarm motors regardless of throttle. So that's all fine. As a beginner, you don't really need to worry about all these other things. The only thing that you need to know is just make sure that it's motor stop and disarm, and also this is brushed. So let's go to the P.I.D tuning, and this one comes with, I think, quite a good setup, but I think the roll and the pitch may be too low in the yaw, and the integral is, the I value is quite high, so I'm not sure whether this has been adjusted after they have seen some of the videos on YouTube, but it seems that they put the rigs up pretty high. This looks like it's an okay P.I.D settings. I'm not going to change that. I'm going to test it first. The most important thing that what I'm doing now is to want to make sure that the receiver and the modes, okay, according to the modes, you have the angle set up on auxiliary 1, so in horizon on auxiliary 1, it doesn't have the arm switch, so that's fine. You can set it up later when you connect the receiver. So next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the battery, and then I'm going to bind the receiver. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the USB, and then I want to bind the quad. So the other thing that you must do is, before you bind your quad to your transmitter, you need to set up a model. So I have already set up my model on my Taranis.
Welcome to Taranis.
So I call this Frog Q90. So let me show you the switches that I set up. So I have the TAER, I think I saw that in the screen. Hopefully it works. And I have arm, mode A, and beeper. I don't think I saw a beeper, but this is my standard model. But hopefully I can then adjust it later. So the next thing to do is I need to put this into the bind page. So it's page 1. And page 2, sorry. So I need D8, and I need to scroll down and make sure that I select bind. I put this aside. Yeah, this should start flashing within 6 seconds. Yep. So what I need to do now, just need to enter. Now hopefully this is fine. So I just need to exit. Disconnect the battery. Okay. So what I need to do now is to connect this back to the screen to check. Okay. So the next thing that I need to do is I need to connect the USB back. And then connect to Betaflight. If you look at the screen, the receiver is connected, is bound. I can move the throttle, the yaw, the pitch, and the roll. So it's very easy to bind with the TAER, and I don't even need to connect the battery now. So I can do my setup. So what I need to do now is to go into receiver to make sure that it goes between 1000, 2000 in the middle. It's about 1500. I think the roll and the pitch are okay, and the yaw, yeah, they look pretty much okay to me. Okay, that's fine. So next thing we go to modes, arm. I put, let me just check what I put. So my arming switch is this one, SF, yeah. So that's my auxiliary one. So it goes all the way to the back, so I put that. So I think when I arm this, I want it to go to yeah, that's my arming. So I think I set the angle auxiliary to, which is this one. So my arming switch is this, my auxiliary 2 is here. So angle, horizon, so and acro. I can set my A mode independently on SE. So let me do A mode. Hang on, this one doesn't have A mode. Oh yeah, add range. I think this is auxiliary 3. Yep. Because the acro mode is all the way to the back, I just make sure that I go all the way to the back. Okay. Save. And there's a beeper. I can see a beeper. So my beeper is, let me see, SD, this one. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'm not sure whether this comes with a beeper or not. I'm just setting it. So what I need to do now is just make sure that it's recalibrated. So I just go calibrate accelerometer again. Go to configuration, save and reboot. Set up. Yep, it's in the right orientation. Ports alright. P.I.D. I'm going to keep as stock. Receiver is fine. Mode's fine. Motors. Okay. And that's it. That's the setting up. So I'm going to disconnect. So the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to disconnect this from the computer.
Telemetry lost.
And connect this to the battery to the quad.
Telemetry recovered.
So I'm going to test this. So it works. So that's how easy it is to do a bind and fly with the Flying Frog with FreeSky. So I'm going to do a short demo flight, just hovering test, and just to show that it works. Okay guys, so the next thing that I want to do is, because I'm going to fly this indoors for testing, so I'm going to put the prop guards on. So you need to put the prop guards on before you put the props on. So I think that's how you do it. Doesn't want to go in. Oh yeah, you just need to push it in a bit and that's it. Yeah, I think I'm doing it the right way. Anyway, that's the prop guards on. I just need to install the props. Yeah, this looks really cool with the prop guards on. Yep. So the battery goes at the bottom using this elastic rubber bands. I think I probably will put some Velcro at the bottom of the quad and also on the batteries just to make sure that they stick together. And that's how it looks like. I'm going to pull this antenna out a bit. Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Inactivity alarm.
Yeah, I'm going to do a hover test and make sure that it works.
Inactivity alarm.